Keith Whittier here with another blog. I had a question for you. Do you have a favorite song? Is there a track that you hear that brings you back to a certain time in your life that you really like? Or is there a song maybe that has a special meaning to you? I got a lot of different favorite songs. I can think of songs by Heavy D that I really like, songs by the R&B group Guy that I really like. But one song that I think about often that I really like is a song called Can You Stand the Rain by the R&B group New Edition, the non-Bobby Brown version. This is a song that I think has absolutely stood the test of time. It came out in the late 80s and to this day is still one of my favorites. The lyrics of the song go a little something like this. Sunny days, everybody loves them, but tell me, can you stand the rain? Storms will come, this we know for sure, but tell me, can you stand the rain? Those words are no more prevalent in my life this week as my favorite sports team, the BC Lions, was eliminated from the playoffs and Grey Cup contention last Sunday. Sports is a very interesting thing, especially for a fan. You see, I get a little frustrated when I see so-called bandwagon fans come along year after year. You know the types of fans I'm talking about. The fan that puts on the championship jersey the day after the championship and runs around screaming and yelling as if they're that team's biggest fan. Until you say, quick, name 5 players, and then they've got that deer in the headlights look. I've liked the BC Lions since I was a little boy. For those of you who've read my blogs, it's been well documented that my first CFL experiences were due to my father, staying up late with him and watching TV or going to games here in Ottawa at the then Lansdowne Park. For some reason, the BC Lions stuck with me ever since I was a little boy, and they're the only professional sports team I'm extremely passionate about. Sure, I love all sorts of sports. I don't mind the NFL, I don't mind the NHL, baseball, European soccer, not so much golf. Let's face it, golf's a networking activity. It's not a sport. But nonetheless, I find myself liking lots of different sports, and a lot of times on weekends I'll find myself parked in front of the television. But when the BC Lions are playing, it's somewhat different. At that point, it's personal, because this is a team that I have a very strong passion for. Now, over the past few years, I've been very blessed in the sense that I've gotten a peek behind the curtain, if you will. I've gotten to meet a lot of the fine men and women who work behind the scenes for the Lions organization. I've also got to meet several of the players. I've also had the pleasure of meeting people such as Wally Bono, Mike Benavidez, Jacques Chapdelaine, and lots of players. And I'm always astounded at how friendly and down-to-earth they are. But then again, why wouldn't they be? They represent the Canadian Football League, which is probably one of the most inclusive organizations that one can come across. To me, it should be a model for other organizations, other sports, professional sports associations. There's very minimal ego. The people are the people involved with it are very, I find, are very outgoing and very friendly for the most part. We have a great league to be proud of. Now, it's one of those things where a lot of times people who aren't huge CFL fans will say, hey, you know what? You know, it must be really hard making the playoffs with 6 out of 8 teams getting in. Well, tell that to Winnipeg and Hamilton, because it isn't as easy as it looks. I don't take lightly the fact that BC went 13-5 this year, because considering the fact that they won the Grey Cup last year, they came into this season with a target on their back, and they did exceptionally well. Led by Grey Cup MVP and season MVP Travis Lulay, BC had a phenomenal season, and plus with a new coach at the helm as well. Probably one of the most thankless positions if you think about it. Here's Mike Benavidez, who's given a team that just won the Grey Cup, and he's told, okay, do it again. Very hard to step into the shoes of the winningest coach of all time, Wally Bono, and succeed. But you know what? He did. Toronto and Calgary will play in the Grey Cup this coming Sunday, and I wish them both the best of luck. But it should also be noted that BC went 4-1 against those teams this year. So I don't really think they have a lot to be ashamed of. As for myself as a fan, it's sad to see my team lose, but I can imagine for the men on the BC Lions and the people behind the scenes, it's probably harder. This is their livelihood, and I don't take that lightly. But what I want to say to that team and to the players and to the people working with the BC Lions is that fans like myself, we can stand the rain, and we understand that while we didn't succeed in our ultimate goal this year, training camp is going to be here before you know it, and we'll get another kick at the can next year. And we'll be waiting with bated breath to see our Lions roar. I want to congratulate you all on an absolutely fantastic season. You have nothing to hold your head for. While the critics will point fingers as they usually do and try to point the blame, I've always been a strong believer that you win as a team and you lose as a team. Being the number one team overall in the regular season is really nothing to be ashamed of in my book. I want to congratulate Mike Benavidez, and quite frankly, if he's not a nominee for Coach of the Year, there's something fundamentally wrong with our league. Because yes, it's very easy to say he got the foundation, but to keep that foundation going isn't easy. Look at Winnipeg. They were in the Grey Cup last year, and how did they do this year? Had a tough year. Didn't make it. Had a new coach as well, and that didn't turn things around for them. So you can't necessarily say just because you're given the keys to the castle, everything's going to work out great. But I'll tell you, I think Mike Benavidez did an absolutely fantastic job. I salute players like Geroy Simon, who might not have had his most stellar year from a statistics perspective, but if you watch this man on and off the field, continues to be a leader amongst his peers, and continues to be somebody that, as a fan like myself, I can truly get behind and respect. I have so much admiration for this organization, it isn't even funny. And I'm absolutely so proud of the effort that you guys put in this year. So, for the meantime, the season's over, I'm afraid. Go spend time with your families, go play with your kids, and go enjoy the off season. Because before you know it, the new season will be here. 2013 season will be here, and we're going to need you at your best. Thank you for everything that you guys do, and thank you for being an amazing team for me to follow, and you guys inspire me, and I wish you guys all the best of luck.